Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at this new Marvel Legends Hydra 2-pack, which includes Hydra Supreme and Arnim Zola. Now, Arnim Zola is basically the exact same figure we got before with different colors and a couple different other things. And then we have a figure that's very much in large part a whole new figure. It does reuse some parts, but in a very good way. So it's kind of an interesting 2-pack. So there's a little bit to talk about, not a ton for Arnim Zola, but a little bit more for the other guy. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Okay, we're going to talk about Arnim Zola first because we should be able to get him out of the way pretty quickly. This guy stands, he was originally a Build-A-Figure, but he only stands about 17.5 centimeters, a little bit less than that, which makes him about 6 3/4 inches. So he's not very big, just for quick comparison in case you weren't watching the beginning, which would be really weird. He's not especially tall, he's very small in fact. But he's kind of stocky, so I guess that's a bonus point for him. Aesthetically speaking, the gold looks pretty nice. It's a little bit muted for my liking, but it's all right. The metallic purple looks pretty good. The other molded purple is fine. Yellow paint job is clean enough. Could be a little bit better on the boots, but overall it's pretty nice. A little bit of metallic blue on the wrists, and then we have this faceplate on his chest, which is done very nicely. We have translucent plastic over printout of some variety, but it's nice. I like it. It's not too bad. It's pretty spiffy. It looks clean. That's pretty good. So the aesthetics on this guy, I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. It is pretty darn good. Now, as far as accessories go, we do have his little remote control thingy, which is okay, and then we have an alternate head. So you can have the one that looks like a Doctor Who character, or you can have the one that looks like a lunchbox. It's up to you. They just swap out, so that's not bad. So accessories, 5 out of 10. That's fine. It's time for the articulation. We basically just get a ball peg because this head doesn't allow for any sort of posability. It just rotates. So it is a ball peg, but it doesn't really do anything. You have a hinge in there too, but it doesn't really do anything. So that's kind of a bummer. Just leave that on there, and it basically just gonna rotate. You can see there's no place for it to go. There's no way to use that hinge effectively. So that's a little bit of a buzzkill. For the shoulders, they rotate no problem because they stick out just a little bit, so the angled sleeves aren't an issue. No problem raising them up to the side. Biceps wheel is fine. Single jointed elbow could be better, not quite 90 degrees. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. Same on both sides, although this side's an open hand obviously, and this side is a gripping hand. No torso articulation, of course. We just have our waist twist. Soft crotch piece. Legs come pretty far forward. It's not too bad. I don't think he really needs to be hyper posable, but it's probably good enough. Going out to the side is fine. I can't use either of these thigh swivels. They won't work, so I'm gonna have to try to do something about that. But right now he's a little bit knock-kneed. It's kind of a bummer. Double jointed knees are fine. We have a boot swivel. That's okay. Ankles, they're okay. They don't go too far forward, but they do a little bit. They do go pretty far back, and we have a not very great ankle rocker. So it's the same figure as before, it just looks a little bit different, and it's fine. It's not bad. Articulation-wise, I'm gonna give it 6 out of 10. Could be better, but it's not bad. And then for my final thoughts on this guy, we're gonna save it. I'm gonna do my final thoughts as the 2-pack because they're not individually purchasable, not from retail anyway. Okay, on to Captain America, Hydra Supreme. This guy is aesthetically very, very, very pleasing, and here's why. I'm going to show you a few key things which support everything I've been saying since I was born. No, since I started reviewing Marvel Legends and actually knowing what I was talking about. He actually has some thickness from front to back. Very often we see Marvel Legends that have no thickness from front to back. His back actually sticks out. His chest actually sticks out. It's very appealing. His shoulders are set a little bit farther back than normal. That makes a huge difference. It's overall very appealing. The proportions on this guy much, much better overall. His thighs are actually thicker than his lower legs. That's very appealing. It sounds weird to say, but I like my dudes with thick thighs. I know what you're thinking, but it's true. If you're gonna give a superhero a figure, he needs to have thicker thighs, and this does. It's like the perfect overall aesthetic. Like, it just looks really, really nice. The head's sticking up high right now, but you get the idea. It looks really good, and that's because of the new parts, in particular the chest and the thighs. Very nicely done. It does reuse the arms and legs from Taskmaster. The hands are from Iron Man. I don't mind it. I think they suit the figure just fine. I think we could have gotten a little bit less gapping going on up here at the shoulders, but it's like exactly what it should be. The thighs should probably be a little bit longer. They should be longer than the lower legs, but they're not. But it's not terrible. And then the new sculpt work is very nice on the chest. It's accurate. It's good. The paintwork that's on there is very clean. This is textured. This is sculpted very nicely. We have this brown line painted on there. Very pleased with this. I don't know if he's supposed to have a repulsor. I know Iron Man does, but I don't know if he's supposed to. I have no idea. But yeah, it's very, very appealing. So aesthetics, I'm going to give this guy a 9 out of 10. They did a really good job, and that is a 9 out of 10 as far as Marvel Legends go. Just to be clear, this scale is not a universal scale. It is dependent completely on what I'm reviewing. But aesthetic-wise, very nicely done. Accessory-wise, we just have this shield, which is painted well. It looks pretty good. I like that they did a good job with the paint and the sculpt. The clip on the wrist is stupid. It has that stupid tab on it so he can peg into his back even though he doesn't have a back peg hole, so that's worthless. And then the clip is only good for one thing, which is him standing there, not doing anything. If you put him in an action pose, it looks dumb, because naturally you would want the shield to be upright. I assume you would want it to be upright even if you bring your arm sideways, but in this way you can't do that, so that's a bummer. So accessories on this guy, 5 out of 10. Looks good, but not very functional. Time for the articulation. The head is on your standard Marvel Legends hinge ball peg combo. It does have a little bit of a lollipop issue, but not enough to worry about because it is kind of a helmet, so you can kind of excuse a little bit more gapping. And so you have your full rotation. It does lean back. It does lean forward. And you do get a little bit of attitude out of it. Now some people are complaining that he should have his face showing. Well, that's a different look. So yeah, it could have his face showing, but this is accurate for this particular look, so no problems there. For the shoulders, better than horizontal, so that's really nice. Full rotation, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, it's all good. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. This shoulder is floppy on mine, that's a bummer. Ab crunch goes back a whole bunch, not sculpted very well once it goes back too far, but it does go back really far. Doesn't go forward all that far, just far enough, but it is sculpted and painted all the way through. Belt is floaty-ish. I think it's glued on the sides, maybe? I can't quite tell. Maybe it's supposed to be glued all the way around. It's kind of hard to say. But either way, you get your waist swivel, and it doesn't really affect the belt, so I like that. That's pretty nice. Hips go all the way forward, really nicely done. And they go pretty far out to the side, even though they're thick, so that's good. Going back just a little bit, thigh swivel is fine. Love those upper legs. A little bulky, so we don't have quite as much bend at the knee, but it works okay. Full ball hinge ankle, so we have all the way back, we have all the way forward, and we have a perfect ankle rocker. This, my friends, is an example of how a Marvel Legends figure is meant to be done. This is exactly what it should be. Very, very nicely done. Articulation on this guy, 9 out of 10. Very, very well done. And my final verdict for this set. Well, Arnim Zola is fine. It's good enough to have him, and it looks good. They did a good job of recreating him in an appealing way, so that's pretty good. And then this figure, a perfect example of a good Marvel Legends figure. It can be done, and you can see it's not like he's covered in paint and has tons of accessories and everything. Sure, he could have more accessories, but the figure itself, reused parts are fine if they're done properly. The paint being where it needs to be throughout the figure is fine. Doesn't have to be a ton. Just a little bit of effort goes a long way, and this is a great example of that. So I'm very pleased with this. Overall verdict on this set, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because this guy is so good. This guy being a reissue is holding the set back from being higher, and the accessories are minimal, but still, really nice set. 8 out of 10 for the 2-pack. 100% recommended. If you're just gonna piecemeal whatever you want, get this guy. This guy's not necessary, but it does look really cool. But this one, my guys, this is the one. Oh man, why can't we get a Captain America figure that doesn't look so crappy? Like this is so much better than all of the Captain America figures we've ever gotten from Hasbro ever. I love it, and I'm gonna go now. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and you probably should subscribe because I do have new videos up just about every single day, and I have thousands of other videos on my channel which maybe you haven't seen, so go ahead and check my playlists and see if I can help you out in some buying decisions. So make sure you do all of that, and in the meantime, keep collecting.